don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Henry! I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. We're about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and our home team. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out as we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterback shake. Off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted.
Hey, right there, 54 Mike. Let's go, D. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week, because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week. lost it. Now they got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were excellent a week ago in that victory over the Colts.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 18. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. So here are the Jaguars in great field position already. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have a perfect game.
Derrick Henry trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Here's the offense, and we give you too much power here. We let you highlight the player. Why'd you choose Zeitler?
Because I think the big guys up front never get enough credit. Kevin Zeitler, a guard, tough, nasty. We've got to give him some love.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. Past the there he goes, left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Tony Pollard, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A first down carry for Bell, but he'll work forward for only about a yard. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 11 carries, 55 yards.
And when you lead the league in rushing for this stretch of time, now you take on the identity. You now lead the team, and everything runs through you in terms of offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check safety, check.
On play action, Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Check it out, Reed.
3rd and long here for Rosen. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I got you, boy.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. He's got the first down and more past midfield. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Let's go. Let's go.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second and 5 now. Luck to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd and 5. Now a look at the Chargers starting 11 on defense. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. 2nd from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
Theories abound. People have opinions. But too often for this team this season, it's been the big play that's done them in.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun snap for Luck. And that is caught But the back judge right there to say incomplete. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
54. Get him.
Rosen on 1st and 10. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he's on to punt for L.A. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here comes Grant on the return. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook. And that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And it's complete. Henry. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2nd down and goal. Luck to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
Now Luck on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
What we got? What we got? What we got?
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Bell, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go.
17-0 our score after 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. It's Rosen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On the counter, here's Bell. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Rosen. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Taylor. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does it mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars. Luck now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st down here. From the gun, here's Luck. He gets it to Thomas. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 46 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
A first down carry for Henry. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now on 2nd and 16. Luck looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Luck. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Charger drive about to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. They'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now it's Jackson. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Call it no gain there, and they've got a ways to go now on 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and
The Chargers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. This is Bell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
I'm here all day.
On 1st down, it's Long. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Second and 5 now. Luck, and he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Michael Thomas with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore. Or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Chris Carson, over 100 yards in the victory with 2 touchdown runs as well. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In our game, it was Andrew Luck who had the hot hand in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, but he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Henry. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Banjo, banjo. Banjo.
Qual. Hey, zoom.
Here's Luck now on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll make it third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Luck. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll go again with Bell. Le'Veon Bell. Kiss him goodbye. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. There he goes, right side. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up, and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Yeah, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat of this ball game as well. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right, and Thomas has it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Let's go, buddy.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Henry. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
from the 31. Luck. And that's complete to Cooks.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now Luck, complete, Hunter Henry with a grab. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returnable for Grant. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. 3rd and 2, Luck. Open man is Michael Thomas. It's a 1st down, and he's also over 190 receiving yards now. What a game. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Luck. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 36. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The tackle by Eric Armstead. Again, it's Henry. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen, caught here by Bell. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen, that's complete. It's Bell. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, Rosen. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. He moved from your former position senior year, strong safety.
Yeah, sometimes they get you up near the line of scrimmage, or you're trying to time up a blitz. You've got to get it right, otherwise that flag comes out and you just cost your team some yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
That's trash. That's trash.
Again, it's Rosen. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Rosen off the play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. A screen to Bell.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Christian Wilkins in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Kiki QT. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Luck on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. A breakaway for Michael Thomas. Touchdown, Jaguars. Michael Thomas, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Chargers on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bell. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Guys, game situation. Let's go.
Rosen to throw again. Complete. Richardson has it. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Rosen. Finds his tight end Ingram.
That's it, baby. We got one.
Rosen now after the pick on the last drive. 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now Rosen. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Rosen. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And now it's Rosen looking toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but now it's 3rd and goal. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, and we didn't jinx him at all, did we? No. Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Jacksonville, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.